What's up, everybody? I'm going to be going over a top floor hold for Chalet. Going to be master bedroom and office site, best site to go on this map, and then kind of the last two sites will be kind of a mix-up. But to start, we're going to want to bring something to deny this wall. It's going to be their main entry point. And I'm going to hit one call out you may not be familiar with. This balcony right here is K9. A lot of people just say like fireplace window, call it K9. Everybody will know what you're talking about if you say somebody's playing K9 balcony. So this wall is the main wall they're gonna want to attack. They're gonna make head holes here, and then reinforce wall here. Rotate hole. And this set of head holes is so you can throw a C4 over to deny the default plant, which is right behind that pillar there. Reinforce here with feet holes along the bottom, so you can look into solar stairs. And then another operator that will be needed will be a castle. Very important to the defense, just because it relieves some pressure from the bathroom window and the piano window on the player that's going to be playing around here. So for the player that's going to be playing like top of fireplace, you're going to make head holes along this wall, reinforced panel there, reinforced panel here. It's so you can contest library. A lot of attacks will come from library, K9, and then put somebody on the library window, as well as send somebody solar. But these head holes are so you can contest the library. And also, so you're not, if you're going to peek this window, you're not exposed if it was flipped the other way. If you had the head holes here, you'd be exposed peeking this way if library is not clear. Obviously, the door is there, but once you clear your library, that's when you're going to be peeking this. Another thing I'd recommend for the top fireplace player is going to be, I'd recommend like a props alarm or some sort of notification for you for somebody coming up your fireplace stairs, as well as somebody coming up the library stairs. Real easy to just get walked up on by some rat slow walking. So you're going to have these head holes here to deny time as much as possible and don't give up library. You're also going to have this castled off as well, just to help you out, because if they get the player on library window there, you're going to have to fall off this pretty quick. As far as these head holes here go, you don't have to get super aggressive with them, but it's just to deny this hallway and general map control. The big part of the defense comes from the person that's going to be playing around piano and bathroom. They're kind of like the flex of the defense. They're going to be able to support whoever needs it if they're giving pressure on office door or starting to push up down library hall. They're going to be the flex of the defense and like the core of it. The players around it are going to either support from there, bathroom side, or solar. One player you definitely need to have is somebody sitting back here solar. I like to bring like a mute or somebody with a shotgun just to you know, stop off the drones and stuff coming up solar stairs. And you got the shotgun SMG-12, which is two of the best weapons in the game. You can easily stop somebody rappelling in, one tap with a shotgun, or coming up the stairs. You also have a C4 you can throw over the trophy stairs if you do hear somebody coming up. And then, if you need to, if nobody's pushing there, you can always fall back to master and like piano side, or come to this rotate and play your C4 over top here. But this back player, I think mute is pretty helpful because you can bring some denial and take some pressure off the bandit or Cade, whoever's going to be helping deny that main wall. Or you could just straight up bring the mute. If you are going to have somebody tricking this wall, it's not a bad idea to flip the reinforcements, put head holes on this side and a reinforcement on this side, so you're able to protect the person tricking. Tricking isn't the best though, because this floor is soft. You can just get shot from below, so that's something to keep in mind of. But just something to deny this wall. If they get that open, it's pretty easy for them to clear out this library player with some utility, and then push in and take control here, and then start applying pressure on office itself. Alright, for the next site on Chalet, we're going to go, honestly, in my opinion, it's a toss-up between two sites being basement and kitchen dining, but I think basement's a little bit easier to hold as long as you don't give up a few things. For this site, we're going to be going basement. This site, you'll need some sort of denial for the garage wall, and these walls, I'd recommend like 2 denial operators, like a Bandit Cade, Bandit Mute, Cade Mute. 2 Brow will help too if you're bandit tricking, but if you are bandit tricking, you need to bring some ADSs or something to deny this, but also your floor above you is soft, so they take that, you're kind of cooked anyways. But I'll get into that here in a little bit. So for this site, I'm going to reinforce walls here, reinforce this panel. Something you can do is you can extend out, put a shield here with like a warden or something, and extend a trench. You're going to need like ADSs again, Wama or Jaeger, if you're going to do this trench extension, but it is a possibility you can do, and the trench player will buy as much time as possible without giving it up, and if they do need to give it up, they just run back and reinforce this wall. But if we don't do that, we can start with this wall reinforced. We're just going to deny this wall, because if they get either of these walls open, it kind of falls apart relatively quick. Alright. Next, we're going to have our blue player. I'd recommend a zombie if it's not banned. You can have a few nice zombie spots for this site. You can put one right around here. That'll give you a nice pixel peek, like somewhere on this corner. I messed it up, but it does give you a nice pixel peek on that shelf there. This is a really good one-way. You can put whoever here, and they're like guaranteed kills. The attack cannot see them at all unless they prone, and if they do prone, should be a free kill. I'll show you what it looks like from the other way. This is what they see if they're crouching down, and if they're standing up, like they're going to see this. And then they prone, they can see you, but they can only see you from this side if they even prone to the middle. Like they go here and prone, you can still see them, but they can't see you. And then these are where my bullets landed from shooting at it. Like I said, one-way angle, free kill. Now what that does, if a zombie's banned, which is a high possibility because a lot of teams do ban her on this map, you can still play blue, which is not going to be as free of a kill. Moving on over here, we're going to have somebody playing denying this wall if possible. It's really only possible to bandit trick if you have your roamer, which I'll get into. But they're going to be denying this wall, and then your last site player will be rotating somewhere through here, checking main stairs, making sure it's open, or making sure it's clear. Also want to get into something else. You can opt to leave this wall closed. I'm reinforcing it. You wouldn't reinforce it, but let's say that wall, we didn't impact that one. We could impact this side and use this side as a rotate, because now the attack can't get a free line of sight if that wall was opened. They don't have a free line of sight if they do take main stairs. So it's just another thing to keep in mind of, but it really depends on how you want to play it. I think this wall's better, but a lot of people open this wall because it's easier to contest the garage. Because from back here, it's farther peak. But it's just a different line of sight for the attack. They don't get a free line of sight in this site if they do take main stairs control. So just for the basement, we're going to have one player playing the garage, denying that wall for as long as possible. One player typically like on this pillar, and they'll be rotating through this angle here, and then helping the trench player if you do the trench extension. And then lastly, a player blue. Or not lastly, but a player blue to deny blue the free walk down, and they can help the wine cellar player as well. And then you can either opt for one roamer or two roamers. It's either a toss-up how you want to do it, but if you have another player on site, they can play somewhere around here, or just somewhere to deny the main stairs push. You don't want somebody walking down for free and killing the player denying the wall. For the roamer, it's really important get both the hatches. Roamers should always be getting the hatches. Not necessarily doing the site setup. That's for the anchors. So hatch there. And then all of this floor here is soft. So the roamer's job typically will be playing third floor. I think that's best. You play third floor, play up in this fireplace area, and you can even open these hatches here to get, open them. You can open those hatches there to give you a way out if needed. But your job will be playing third floor and denying the vertical control for as long as possible. So if they get vertical, they can take this bandit. Like, for example, if you're bandit tricking, they ash charge this wall. I mean, that's a free kill. The bandit's going to die every time, and they're not even on the second floor. They're on the third. So you're going to be playing third floor, denying the vert for as long as possible. You can always rotate off late. Don't lose your life trying to deny vert, but if you have to, the longer you can deny, the better. So once they get vertical control, this site does kind of fall apart rather quickly. And these hatches, this hatch drops right down in the connector. But yeah, for this site, you're going to want to, if they push the garage, set up crossfires. Either your main stairs player can hold like here while contesting main stairs, and then this bomb chassis for a nice angle. They can also sit right behind this and get a close angle there, depending on how the wall's open. And then if your roamer does get vertical control, he can deny the walk-in and a little bit of the default plan. If I can see it, you might not be able to see it, but your roamer can deny the walk-in, and then the default plant spot is like right here behind this trash can. That does give you cover. Then your blue player obviously denying blue. A wine cellar player denying this rotate, or like this walk-in here. I would say wine cellar is a more popular take. I think it's a lot better because if you get either one of these walls open, it's very easy to cut off the angles and the rotates from this site. Like, you see somebody walking in here, you can be holding an angle on it, and that's one of their two rotates back into sight. You get this wall open, it cuts off their entire rotate this way. So it's just very important to deny these back walls for as long as possible. I think that's a more popular take than pushing the garage because it's much easier defended. But yeah, that's pretty much it for basement. Another thing the roomers can do, last thing, will be open up this hatch and they can play garage late, or come down west main stairs, which are these stairs right here, to contest this wall here, rather than only playing the third floor if it is a back take. But it really depends on what the attack is going to do to force out your hand. But your room needs to be flexible, and their main job will be deny the vertical, or this back stairs, just hold position and create pressure on the attack, and then the blue player can fall off, help, and then your main stairs player can opt to stay somewhere around here to hold main. Your garage player can opt to stay down like right here, hold main stairs, or fall back off in the connector and contest this angle or that one. It really comes down to just holding the walls for as long as possible, because they do get opened. It's pretty easy, and if they get vertical control, it's a pretty easy round. That's pretty much it for defense on Chalet. For the last bomb site on Chalet, we're gonna go. This can either be second or third. Honestly, it's a really hard pick between this and basement. I think they're both probably about even in terms of how good they are. The last one is kitchen dining. A big point of emphasis on this site will be vertical control. Something that is important. You're gonna have 1 to 2 people up here. I think 2 is good, playing vertical, and they're essentially gonna play this like it's the top floor site, except you're gonna give up stuff like library, top fireplace, much faster than you would if it was library. Really, all you need to hold up here is this master hatch right here. I would recommend a Cade as well, just to deny this hatch if your top 4 players do get cleared out earlier. You can also bring a castle to castle off like your bathroom and big window. just to make it a little bit more difficult for the attackers to get pressure on you. But your top floor players, they are going to deny the vertical control for as long as possible. I'd recommend starting off over here earlier in the round, and then slowly falling off, and then giving it up when you have to. But it shouldn't be like, all right, there's people up here, I gotta run away now. It should be fall back, keep falling back until you can't fall back anymore, then just fall back into sight. But next we're going to move down to our trophy player. I'll actually do some site setup first. So we're going to reinforce this right trophy wall, head holes there. Reinforce this wall, head holes here. Reinforce this wall, head holes here. Rotate hole. Reinforce these 3 walls, and then feet holes. So I'll start over here with trophy. Actually, for places like bottom west main, you're going to want to bring some traps, barbed wire, prox alarm, something to let you know that somebody's walking up these stairs, because it ain't nothing for somebody to rat up these stairs and get a free kill on your trophy player. But your trophy player, they're going to be denying this trophy window, the easy take from solar if your window's like the easy rappel in from solar if your window here is closed still, and then west main to the main breach. The reason we have the head holes here is because it's super long angle to your main wall, and you can play it safely while being in cover from your window if it is open. So they do get this main wall. You can play this the main wall. You can still play it from trophy. You don't have to run back the side if this was reinforced. We're also going to have head holes here as well, just for so your dining players can help contest kitchen in the jump in if this area behind you is closed too. So this site is really about just creating a lot of crossfire and hitting your opponents where it hurts. But yeah, just use the crossfires, play those crossfires. That's why we have a lot of head holes and stuff open this round. So we're going to have 1 to 2 upstairs, player trophy. If you've got 1 upstairs and 3 on site, you're going to have a roamer below, which I'll hit in a second. But then one of your other site players is going to play right on this dining room table and hold these feet holes. This is a little one-way angle for any attackers walking up to try and either do something with this wall or get this door open, free kill somebody walking up. And then if they do get this wall open, you can fall back, play your angles, play angles on this main breach. Like I said, you do have stuff all the way open from a lot of angles, but a lot of teams will push vertical, get this main wall open, and then try and consolidate in through double pressure. But another thing you can do is have a roamer below. 1 to deny the easy west main walk up, and 2 for an easy flank either up main stairs or blue stairs. While your roamers up top are holding that, your main stairs player can walk up here and sometimes get a free kill on somebody doing something with that wall. Always check your K9 window and your main door, your fireplace window, just because people will post up there and cut off this side of the map. But it is another way to flank. And then you also have your blue stairs. If you come up here, you can deny a little bit of the run in if they do have like a thermite or something running in to get in the fireplace wall. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this site. This is a really good site if a team, if you can hold vertical, because all this is soft. So if you do give up vertical super easy, you're probably gonna get fried here. But if your roamers above can hold vert, this is a really strong site. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best in the game, just off personal experience. But that's pretty much it for Chalet kitchen dining. For the first attack on Chalet, they'll probably go the top floor bomb site like we went first. For this attack, it's going to be kind of a split push between K9 and library. You can send 1 player, so you can do like kind of a 2-2-2-2-1, like 2 play K9 top fireplace, 2 push library, and then 1 pushes like trophy solar side or takes below like this fireplace. or you could go 3-1-1, just depending on however y'all want to take it. But the main idea is to apply pressure on this top fireplace player from K9 and library. And if you remember on the defensive video, there'll be somebody playing right around here, contesting library, contesting this window. I'd highly recommend Ace for this, because this wall is going to be reinforced, and Ace, if it's EMP'd, just another little tip for Ace, if it's EMP'd and they've got somebody bandit tricking, you can quickly throw both A charges on both panels, and 95% of bandit players, it's going to counter. This still can be tricked, but it's a lot more difficult because they have to time it perfectly, or else they won't get both panels. And if you only get one open, really easy to clear out the bandit from the other panel and get that open. Once you got this open, this outside player's kind of just going to chill here for a majority of the round. They can cut off the top fireplace player from rotating back, or even drone for your library players or your solar player. This is going to be your flex player and most likely your planner.
You have located a bomb.
So taking library, you can send 2 to 3 here. I like to take from this window we're looking at right here, and then also have somebody here, somebody drone it, and then this player can jump in uncontested here, but they just got to be aware of the connector door right here on the jump in. So if they jump in here, connector's clear, they have now either whatever side they open, it really depends. They've got a free angle here, while you also got the other player with their gun up there. If you got 3 going library, you can all get in here and take it. If not, you can have your other player go below and start clearing out and putting pressure from here. Once you get a hold of these library stairs, I'd recommend something to give you some intel. If it goes, if somebody's pushing up these stairs, Nomad, Claymore, whatever, Gridlock, you know, it's kind of bad. Just to deny these stairs, because it's a real easy flank for the defenders to do. This library player can either watch these head holes here, just play off them, or watch the fireplace cross, but you're going to have your K9 player watching that as well. Once you have library control, I like to come out this way and just check my downstairs. I always shoot this default cam here. And that can also fall into your player that took library stairs. They can rotate down and clear out above, so you can just skip this. If main wall's open, I like to either peek this main wall, rotate will be right around here. You can't really play on the bomb chassis, no big angles for them to defend. We'll probably have some like head holes roughly here, or like a C4 throw hole. And then you get to rotate there. And then you're going to have your head holes probably right around here, as well as this panel being reinforced. With this head holes here, if you've got your main wall open, those head holes are pretty much unplayable. They play them, they're going to get killed. So once you get this wall open, it really takes a lot off of what the defense can do. Their last fallback point will be piano. A lot of people play right behind this piano. Hard to get somebody out of this spot, especially if they've got somebody playing on this wall here helping. So I'll usually stick somebody right around here to kind of just watch the cross. They can even get a little bit more widen their swing to cut off more of the cross rather than just this doorway. Have your planter go in here. If I could get in. Default plant spot is going to be right behind this half wall. Somebody's going to be covering from the outside. Obviously, these walls will probably be opened a little bit better. Something like this. Just open it more. Let's see. Wall's going to be opened up a little bit more so you can cover these holes. Shoot C4 coming out. Shoot the rotate player. And then lastly, or two last things. You can have your third player or fourth player here, kind of just on flank duty, just making sure nobody flanks, and then trade out players as needed. And then for your solar and fireplace player, you really don't need to get aggressive. You're gonna kind of get the free kill if you're playing on these windows. You're gonna get the free kill for the player rotating master, or if you're walking up these stairs, you're just gonna play it slow, get up these stairs nice and slow, and just apply pressure here while they're in a post plant situation, and cut off the enemies, shoot them in the back while they are trying to go for post plant. One other thing I did not mention, so if you have like look, 2 here and then 1 player there, then nobody going solar, which isn't a problem. You can always put somebody on these windows here to contest the piano player further. Honestly, I think this is better than sending 1 person solar on their own, because that solar player isn't really going to have much impact until the post plant. Now this player should be aware of, like, I would claymore this window, although it's probably going to be castled. Probably going to be these 2 windows castled, so we just break them open. And then from here, you have a really nice angle to deny the rotate hole alongside your person on the main wall. And then you can also swing piano, even though it's a little bit harder of a swing. Something else you can do, if you do have frags, you can toss one right down into here in the piano, but it probably will get Jaegered if they have one. So just the main idea of this attack is take control of top fireplace through K9 and library, and then cut off the rotates to A. You really don't have to take B. You can put somebody big window if you want. Not the greatest, but sometimes it can have impact. But yeah, the main idea: take office through library and K9, and then cut off the angles back into site. Because once you have the plant down, it's pretty hard to defend it. Alrighty. The next site we're gonna attack is basement. My preferred way of attacking this site is to push through trench and do a back take. Not everybody go through trench, but do a back take for the most part. That'll be taking garage, and you can send somebody upstairs. So kind of 2 people trench, 2 people garage, 1 to 2 people garage, and then 1 to 2 people upstairs. The reason I like taking back so much is if you get either one of these walls open, it kind of shuts down the defense, and you get a lot of nice crossfires that they can't do anything about. One operator that's pretty solid here is Sentry, just for the fact that he can EMP and hard breach a wall all by himself. I'd recommend a Thermite, though, as well. Thermite or Ace, really doesn't matter. Just somebody to get the main wall open. I think Sentry's good for a tunnel, like a little hallway push here. Or a trench hall, wow. But start back here over top. You always want to check if you drone in garage, make sure this hatch is clear, because people will rat right up here and get a free kill as you're walking in. But you can send somebody through the trophy window, clear out trophy. I'd recommend droning just a little bit of solar, just to make sure there isn't somebody just sitting up here waiting to drop down. Drone out kitchen and stuff, west main. And then from here, I'd either, like, Nomad, Claymore, Gridlock, whoever, just to deny the west main rotate. And then also put a drone here, because people will flank west main leading around, even though you've got the stuff up there. And then from here, it's pretty simple. You're going to have your person going here, person from garage, open up this wall, and then that can be assisted through EMPs. EMP that, open up this wall. Now that this wall is open, let's see this guy. You can cut off pretty much their connector rotate, as well as the rotate from the pre-made hole. You can do it from both sides. This will be a lot bigger of an opening with a different operator. And then the cross from blue, but that's more going to be held from the trench hall. So if there is a player trench, you're going to need to dump some utility to clear them out, either flashes, frags. Just throw them throw them here. It should bounce off and hit behind, and then just swing them. Do be aware though, if somebody can hold this angle like tight and kind of get an angle on trench door, even though a lot of people don't hold it like this. But just know that is a possibility. Can't get it from the blue door, but somebody's in there, they can shoot you. Just be aware of that. So once you have trench control, either they've given it to you off rip, or they've had somebody come back here and reinforce it. EMP it if you need to, open it. Once you have it opened, you can see behind pillar, which is a big power position for the defense, because this spot can deny plant with either smoke, C4s, however they want to do it. They can deny plant from right here. The default plant spot is right up here on top of this thing. I'll get into that here in a minute. So once you have this open, you can take and hold pillar. And if you've got excess manpower, like if you've sent 2 people above, one of your players can get the hatches, or at least this hatch, to start applying some pressure. And if y'all want to, you can open up the floor here in the front. I mean, it's optional, just because this site, all the floor is hard, and that's going to be the main site we're attacking. But you can see where that opened up here. You can open up behind the pillar to clear this player out, which is right above the main door. But you don't necessarily need vert if you're going for just a straight back push. I think back is a lot easier to attack than garage, because realistically there's only this one way you can come in, unless you clear out pretty much the entirety of the map. Because if you just try to walk down main stairs, you're going to just get shot from some rad angle. And that the same goes for blue. So I think pushing back is the best way to attack here. And just a quick recap, you're gonna take this wall. If you can only get one wall open, that's alright. You can still win around off of one of these walls open. That's why I like this site so much. Once you have the wall open, you're gonna make sure the blue player, because there's somebody gonna be playing in blue, can't cross to shoot the planter. Have somebody covering your pillar. This can either be from the main wall or the trench wall. If pillar swings, be a free kill. By this point, somebody probably will be dead, so you can throw a drone west main. Just have them watch it. And then from there, like if you plant there, you can deny from above. You should be able to deny from above. But it's a pretty simple attack. Open these two walls. Clear out this pillar player, because that's the main plant denier. And then hold the crossfires on the plant. If you have 2 people here, you can have one there, and then one watching the blue swing. That is a little bit more of a weird angle there to watch it from the main wall. But yeah, this is the default plant spot here. And then from there, it's pretty easy site to attack, in my opinion. That's pretty much all for basement. Alright, for the last site on Chalet that they're going to go, it's most likely going to be kitchen dining. This site, the big emphasis is to get vertical control and start opening up angles vertically to force out the attackers, or force out the defenders. So I typically say take it similar to a library push. I'd send 1 to 2 library, 1 K9, and then clear out above. They're gonna give it up I'd say they should give it up pretty early, compared to like a normal top hold, like the bomb site was up here. But take library and K9 like normal. Once you get into this hallway, I would just watch your flanks, bring a nomad or something, deny the flanks. Then you're gonna start clearing out piano and above. You're gonna have to fully clear top, just so you have full vertical control and can really start forcing out angles. Once you got vertical control, you're gonna open up the hatch, however you want to open it. Thermite, ace, Habana, harbor, charges don't matter. And then from here, you're just really going to start opening up some of the floor. You can open up right around here to shoot the main, shoot any gadgets defending the main wall. And then just start opening up the floor where defenders play. I'll show you some like common spots. If you open up right behind the desk, you can clear out the player playing behind the kitchen table, watching those feet holes on the door. Your hatch, you can also cover some decent sights and rotates. Once you get to solar, I would highly recommend something on solar stairs so somebody just doesn't walk up. This right here will clear out the player playing like this doorway, watching the head holes on the trophy wall if they've got them made. And then, one thing to be aware of, the vert can go, it can be used two ways since all the floor is soft, so just be aware for C4s. Don't stand still for too long, especially if they have a valve pulse. Always keep moving, and then drone them out to where they're at. I'd say these are the three most common spots people play, so right around here, denying the trophy window. I'd say 3 to 4 people need to go up top, and then you can have one other person either attack trophy or fireplace. I think fireplace is probably a little bit better just because that main wall, if it gets opened, it does help create some pressure. Once you get this main wall open with a thermite or ace or whoever, it's pretty easy. I mean, obviously you got to watch for like your player playing back in trophy, but you should have the vertical control to be able to force them out. And then as far as roamers go, you can send somebody on roam clear from above, because people will sit in like this bar gaming area, try and get a free pick on fireplace or hold it for as long as possible. People will also sit below and just kind of walk up these main stairs and get a free kill on somebody playing fireplace. I think Nomad and Gridlock would be good for this site, just to deny the flanks, as it is a middle floor site, so you can get flanked from multiple different spots, considering you're going to have people above and the bottom floor, or the middle floor, so just something to be aware of. And then as far as taking sites, once you've got the vert open, it's pretty easy to force defenders off spots. Another spot you can open is like, I'll go show that in a second. You can open up like all the way through this floor as well to cut off like the main hall. So you've got your pillar player and your trophy player getting pushed out here. If you open up through closet, this sees the main hallway, cuts off the rotates in between sites other than kitchen. Your hatch can be opened, and then not much they can do from kitchen. I wouldn't stand here though, because you can get shot from like back there if somebody's playing on it. And then right behind the office desk to clear out the player playing behind dining table. And then right on this default plant spot half wall to open up and contest the gadgets on the main wall. And then from there, it's really going to be seeing how many people are on site. Do you need to do a small room clear of the basement and bar area to get those stragglers? And if there's a lot of people hunkered on site, just open up vertical, play your crossfire off your main breach people and trophy players if somebody does go trophy, from either that's from off the room clear or from vert. So play vert, pinch them with your main wall and your trophy player if there's someone there, and get free kills. I'd say the default plant spot is probably right around here, even though it can get C4 from below. That's why I say it is kind of important to clear out below if there is roamers. Default plant spot right here, and it can get watched from above. One thing I will say about playing vert at the default, or like after the post plant, if you're the last one alive and they've got more than one person alive, I would highly recommend not playing vert. Just because it's so easy for them to get a different angle on you and shoot you, because if you're playing vert, there's only one place that you can shoot them from, while if you're playing like on the main breach, you've got a little bit more flexibility in terms of where you can show up from. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't work, it really sucks. But that's just a note for playing vertical and like the post plant. That goes for attack and defense, in my opinion. Um, that's pretty much all for kitchen dining on Clubhouse. Big emphasis, just get vert.